so much, Andrew West. You're amazing. For even trying, you know. And if you did and I didn't see, I appreciate that all the way. But what's up, Kush Blunt? How are you doing? Alright, we're just gonna attack. Mine's straggly right now, Rip. See, the thing is, that's something that you can work on, though. All you need is the right brush and the right oil. Yes, I gotta remember. I was so sad that it got stolen, but fuck. But as I was saying, holy crap. I have, like, here is my Kennedy 25. I love Kennedys. Kennedy is my favorite so far of all of the types of RDAs I have tried. So when you guys are wicking, if you guys don't know, remember, you
Oh, cool! All of my onions, or no, this is the garlic that I planted. It's a harvest day, which means that it's a sale day, which we're gonna go to town and sell some stuff and buy some stuff. Hey, elevator. Hey there, everybody. Alrighty then. We are live. Hello everybody and welcome. Make sure that all my stuff is actually doing right. Yeah. Hello everybody and welcome to another stream. And of course, Merry Christmas to all of y'all that do celebrate. Because guess what, world? There are people out there that don't celebrate Christmas. But either way, appreciate those of you that are joining me. We're playing a little bit of Monster Hunter Stories. In fact, this is the first time I've ever played this game. I did have Monster Hunter Stories too, but my ex stole that from me. Among other things. And for those of you that are Monster Hunter fans, Monster Hunter Stories is actually set in an alternate universe. Let's try a white dragon.
さっそうと天かける黒き闇をうがち光を取り戻すのだ
Interesting.
彼はモンスターライダー
So that's one of the biggest difference about Monster Hunter Stories comparative to Monster Hunter General Canon. Monster Hunter Stories is a universe where humanity actually built a connection with the creatures rather than going to war with them. Although there is still obviously conflict. But in this world, there are not hunters, there are riders. And, well, hunters still exist. Yes, they do still exist, but they aren't the prevalent culture within this particular world. The prevalent culture in this world are riders, are those that have made a connection with the world rather than, well, otherwise. But hunters exist still because the role of the hunters is still the same, maintaining the balance of nature and humanity. But you will also notice, this is one of my favorite things about the Monster Hunter Stories games, and this is why I'm so glad that I'm actually able to play this game. I was not able to play it in the first time, but this game, if you choose the option of original audio, the characters that are voiced, they don't speak a specific language that we would immediately recognize. And that's because they're not speaking a human language. They're speaking Wyverian. And this is one of my favorite things about the Monster Hunter universe that isn't prevalently known, but there are two main forms of language, and that is human speak and Wyverian. It gets pointed out that riders and hunters just have different views, often butting heads. Right. But also, like I stated, Absolute Zero, in this world, I know you know this, but for anybody that doesn't know, Monster Hunter Stories is an alternate story. It is an alternate universe. This is a universe where the war between humanity and the kingdom of elder dragons had not occurred. But there is another darkness that exists. I wonder if there's an auto function. PlayStation? No, we're playing on PC, but this game was originally released on the DS, or I think it was the 3DS. See, I know nothing of Monster Hunter, so it's useful to me. I mean, the Monster Hunter universe is one of my favorite universes. Especially because they have such a unique origin story. A unique creation story. And it's kind of odd because the creation story within Monster Hunter isn't really spoken of well. And in fact, the only way that you could start to get that bit of lore is um, specifically from the Monster Hunter second generation and third generation games, where you could actually find small journals and notes that came from the ancient kingdoms. But the creation story within the Monster Hunter universe is as such. In the beginning, there were 7 dragons, and there was life without form. All things existed, but without form, without time, without substance. They were simply souls. And it wasn't until the greatest of these dragons opened their mouth and time began. Mountains were formed, physicality was born within the world, and the souls that existed would be given form, would become the elder dragons, the wyverns, the humans, the wyverians themselves. And the dragons, each one would become a different aspect of the physical world. The wind, the mountains, the oceans, the very stars themselves. And within this story, it is known that these dragons, these 7 dragons that became continents, monuments, facsimiles of the physical world itself, can be visited, can be observed. But it's a great journey, for they're not upon the main lands. But yeah, don't try to translate what they're saying. You got to read the subtitles with the voice acting that we're doing. The language of voice acting that is currently playing, because, like I said, the language in this game is all Wyverian. Hey, what's up, user numbers? How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope y'all had an amazing Christmas, and happy holidays to y'all. Appreciate you joining me. Fatalis as a monster in lore gimmick irritates me because Capcom is too afraid to make a monster. Would you mind expanding upon what you're trying to say there, Absolute Zero? Just because I don't think I'm getting the full story there. Let's see. I know I'd rather monster ride than fight one. Oh yeah, that's actually the thing that I prefer about the Monster Stories universe versus the Monster Hunter universe, is the fact that in the Monster Stories universe, there's a connection. You actually can ride and fly, and it's pretty damn cool. I really wish I still had my Monster Hunter Stories 2 game, but sadly, like I said earlier, my ex stole that game, among many other things. You like Stranger Things? Yes, I actually watched episode 1 and... Not episode 1, but the newest... of the newest releases within the last season, I watched the first episode of what was released this week, or released today, but I wasn't able to watch all of them. I'll be able to watch more of it tomorrow when my buddy lets me watch on their Netflix. I'll retype on Twitch. Okay. What about Welcome to Derry? That was a very interesting series. I really enjoyed that because it expanded a lot, and I do mean a lot, on the idea of what Pennywise is and the macroverse that is the canon of Stephen King's storytelling. Did you manage to get the season pass for Digimon? No, not yet, Dragon King. Hopefully, I will. I mean, after this next paycheck and after I pay for rent and whatever is left afterwards, because it should be a nice fat check because I'm getting a lot of overtime this week. And today I got overtime plus holiday pay. Let's see. I feel that an ex-friend stole my copy of Def Jam Fight for New York, and I will forever be upset about it. Oh, what the fuck? That's bullshit. I'm sorry that happened to you, Moose. Let's see, Fatalis as a monster in lore gimmick irritates me because Capcom is too afraid to make a monster stronger than it because they know the fandom would have a conniption fit about it. See, I don't see a reason why the fandom would have a conniption fit about it, because it's never stated that Fatalis is the strongest. And it's never stated that Fatalis is the only black dragon. Because of the introduction of multiple black dragons in the Monster Hunter lore, we know that within this particular, at least that bit, Fatalis was not the only black dragon, meaning that there were multiple iterations and multiple mutations of the black dragon that Fatalis is part of. So I don't. Have you seen how the fandom glazes the shit out of Fatalis? Yes and no, but you also have to remember when it comes down to me, particularly me personally, Absolute Zero, I don't give a shit what the fandom thinks, cares about, or wants. I only care about what the creators are going to do, what I enjoy, what I don't enjoy, and what I personally know that I can't change because I'm not the creator. And if I wanted it differently, like I keep telling everybody else, so to myself as well, if I want it better, I might as well shut up or put up and make it better myself. And if I can't do it, shut the fuck up.
Hi.
Not to say that you can't have an opinion.
Hi.
It's just more of you can have an opinion, but you can't use that opinion to try to be superior. Let's see, I'm in the trenches with these people, unfortunately, because they're all over my For You page. And I get that. No, I get that. Like, I'm working on making more content based on Monster Hunter, specifically because I've been releasing the Monster Hunter series on my YouTube that is based around Monster Hunter Wilds. Let's see, I can't believe they're releasing the second DLC soon, right? Do you like the filler in One Piece? I can't tell you whether I dislike or like the filler in One Piece because I stopped watching One Piece once they got to the Grand Line, and that's pretty early on. So I can't really have an opinion about the fillers because I haven't really experienced the fillers. Hopefully they're not as bad as Bleach fillers. Even though I love Bleach as a series, it's in my top 10. Or top 5. But the fillers suck dick. Let's see, people cry so much these days about movies and games. And it's like I said, I don't mind that people have an opinion. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter if I mind or not, right? Because people are going to have an opinion either way. I just find it kind of funny that people get so ingrained in this mob tribal mentality where it's like, oh, you don't like what I like, you don't agree with me, I fucking hate you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Is what I think about that. And it's just like, I don't have to see it through your viewpoint, but I also don't have to think that your viewpoint is invalid for me to feel anything. I shouldn't have to or want to. Literally, anytime someone mentions how strong a monster is, they will pull in, well, the Fatalis. Okay. Merry Christmas, Jeremiah. And I cut my hair off a while ago, about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And Yang, yes, you should skip the bleach filler because none of the bleach filler is canon or is ever mentioned again as they go along with the main storyline. Okay. Let me mention monsters that are stronger than Fatalis so that you can use this in those videos. The Alatreon. The Alatreon is, in fact, from what we can tell within the lore, the little bits of lore that they gave to us, the Alatreon is the epitome of the Black Dragons. It is the strongest of the Black Dragons, meaning more than likely it's even stronger than the White Fatalis. The White Fatalis is simply the oldest of the Black Dragons. And then there is the Dire Miralis, which is a literal walking Pompeii. These dragons are way stronger than Fatalis. Even the Safi'jiiva is stronger than the Fatalis. The Fatalis is simply the one that endures the most, because the Fatalis is able to regenerate itself from even a singular cell. That's the biggest difference between Fatalis and the other Black Dragons, is the other Black Dragons don't have that extreme of a regeneration factor. But they are still around. That says a lot about them already. Let's see, what was I reading? The reason I don't comment on how bad a fanfic is because I can't focus enough to write my own. Fair. Fair. The 5-minute flashbacks to 5 minutes ago in One Piece is filler? Oh, okay. Like I said, I can't... Anytime I mention how much I like the Safi'jiiva more, then Fatalis people lose their gore and I just laugh. Exactly, just laugh at them. They're gonna always say some shit about... See, this is the one thing that I never understand about people who do versus battles, power scalers, and the like. Not all power scalers are like this, but there's enough of them that I can state that there's a lot of them that are like this. Why the fuck do you think if that character is awesome or does beat another character, that immediately makes you awesome for liking them? It doesn't. You liking an awesome character does not make you awesome. If you're still a shit heel, that's not gonna stop you from being a shit heel. I never understand that about people when it comes down to things. I like things. The things that I like don't make me awesome if they're awesome and I'm an asshole. And the game that we're playing today, Jeremiah, sorry I was going on a rant, is Monster Hunter Stories. I am of the top 1%ers of One Piece haters. Hey, if you don't like One Piece, it's valid to not like One Piece. I can't tell you what to like and what not to like. Nor would I ever suppose the ability to do so. Because once again, I'm not a shit heel. And I don't even mention Safi's power. I just love his design and the story more than Fatalis. I mean, Safi'jiiva's design is very unique. And its face having the... One second. Having the kabuki style face, making it look so much more exaggerated and well, just in general, it makes the Safi'jiiva's design so much more interesting. And I get why you like it. I do. Not only that, the entirety of the lore behind the Safi'jiiva and the Xeno'jiiva is really cool. It's actually one of the reasons why I like the Monster Hunter World story. Greatsword is the best sword. I mean, I don't use Greatsword. I don't use Longsword. I use Gunlance. Hi, Mocha.
Anemono.
Power scalers are usually hilarious, mostly unintentionally, which makes it better. I even put Atlaka, I think that's the name, over Fatalis, but I'm biased onto insects. I get that. No bighorn. I mean, I like hunting horns. I do. I adore hunting horn mains. I think that they are a absolute treasure within the Monster Hunter fandom. I cannot play hunting horn to save my life. The golden praying mantis that makes the big junk mech. Oh! See, I just got Dragon Quest 1 through 3 HD 2D remake, so I'll be playing those. Nice, great choice. Only reason why I'm actually able to play this game is because someone who shall remain nameless, because they asked to remain nameless, purchased this game for me as a Christmas gift. Let's see. Because, like, that's so fucking cool. It shows off the monster's intelligence, right? And that's something that isn't, in my opinion, isn't that well showcased in the Monster Hunter games. Is that the majority of monsters that we are encountering are actually quite intelligent and have almost tribal level socialism within their social structure, within their species. But it is the Elder Dragons that their intelligence isn't well showcased enough, because the Elder Dragons literally are on a social evolution that is comparable to humanity. They have an entire language, an alphabet. They have multiple languages and alphabets. They have built entire civilizations. They just don't build civilizations in the way that humans build civilizations. You could say that about the fandom too. No, you're not wrong, Absolute Zero. The fandom definitely doesn't showcase the intelligence of monsters well, or intelligence well at all, sometimes. That's why I tell everybody and anybody who wants to get interested in anything, do not subscribe to the fandoms. Fuck what the fandoms say, enjoy it the way that you want to enjoy whatever it is. As long as you're not hurting anybody physically, you're good. Morgan Moonscar, is that you? Oh shit, I didn't even think about that when I chose that fucking mark. I will say Worlds did Monsters right. Yeah, no, Monster Hunter Worlds did it really well. Don't get me wrong, I like Monster Hunter Wilds, I do, but Monster Hunter Wilds, because of the intense graphical load, and the world is alive. It is. There's a lot of little things that make the world alive, but they can't have a vast macro. They can't have vast amounts of macrofauna like they did in Monster Hunter Worlds because of that. They kind of limited themselves by capping themselves at gold, essentially. And Merry Christmas, Daniel. Thank you. Are the Monster Hunter games a continuation, or is it like Final Fantasy and not a matter of what game you play? It's definitely more like Final Fantasy, because each game is independent and not a continuation. There are mentions of characters from previous games. There are instances where characters from previous games will show up, but the overall lore and story, as well as monsters that you fight, are independent to each game. There are some monsters that continue on to other games, but the unique monsters are independent to each game. And that's also the same for the Monster Hunter Stories games. You do not need to have played Monster Hunter Stories to play Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. Happy Honda Days! Merry Christmas. Merry Chrysler. Happy Christmas. I like how you can literally just sit next to some of the monsters and they won't aggro onto you. Sometimes they'll just walk by you. It's a baby Rathalos. It's little Rothy. Now, one instance where you'll see mentions or characters from a previous game is Monster Hunter 4 and Monster Hunter Wilds. In Monster Hunter 4, there are two specific characters that carry over into the base story of Monster Hunter Wilds. And that's Gemma and the Guildmaster. Like, I sat and walked around gathering stuff near a Raytheon for like an hour. The Ace Gunner too, and the Ace Cadet. Oh, right. Well, I mean, but the Ace Gunner and Ace Cadet aren't part of the base story. I kept it to the base story of the game, because Gemma and the Guildmaster are part of that story, and you do interact with them within the story. The Ace Gunner and the Gunner Cadet come in as NPCs that you can join in. The Cadet he just isn't named yet. He's in Worlds. Oh! Oh, shit, okay. It thinks you're its mother. Yep. You know, the little Ratha, what is it? Little Ratha, imprinted on the main character. Hello, Ghost. Welcome to the stream. And Merry Christmas. Do you like Red Dead 2? I mean, I've played Red Dead 2. The story of Red Dead 2 is amazing. You know, Micah can go fuck himself, and so can Dutch for being a dumb shit. But if you play Red Dead Redemption 1, you do get a chance to get revenge. Revenge! And then there's Red Dead Revolver, which I don't think any of the characters from the previous games are related to the main character of Red Dead Revolver, which is in fact the first game of the Red Dead series. Okay. Oh, look, it's a cuckoo. Ah, cuckoos. The cuckoo was the first menace. Actually, technically... Oh, man. Ah. Oh, I haven't seen these fuckers in a while. So this is one of the first flagship monsters for the Monster Hunter series. The Velociprey. And these guys were a menace. Specifically the Velocidrome, which is the alpha of the pack within the prey pack. Yeah, because the Velociprey are all led by the Velocidrome, which is a lot bigger. And the Velocidrome, I remember it being just such a absolute menace. Let's see, Red Dead Revolver, Revolver Ocelot. Red Dead is a weapon. Is the weapon to surpass Metal Gear? Oh god. Okay, wait, let's talk to people before we just fucking go into it. Dan was so worried. Oh, was he now? Cheval's finally home. I was so worried. Of course, I was also worried about you too. Sure they were. As far as we know, no. The Red Harlow is only mentioned once in Red Dead Redemption 2 in a paper clipping. So they have nothing to do with Red Dead. Okay, so, I mean, at the very least, there is a mention of Red Harlow. Have a wonderful night, Faja. You as well, Emil. Thank you so much for showing up and hanging out for a bit. Let's see, Yagi and the Great Yagi were my first raptor encounters in Monster Hunter. Ah. The Yagi was also a pretty big menace. But I think out of all of them, from the original prey species that were introduced, because the Yagi is one of the prey species, and so is, yeah, but the Eoprey, I absolutely hated the Eoprey because the Eoprey had poison. They spat poison and they had poisonous claws. And every time you would get an antidote in, oh, they would just slash at you, and then you'd be poisoned all over again. And it's just like, can I never get rid of this? Ara, ara. Did you hear that? Hated that prey as well. Yeah, the eel prey were just so fucking annoying. Hi, Mocha. Speaking of Metal Gear, if you play chronologically, it's about how the real power of Metal Gear is making the world more pixelated. Oh, Jesus. Monster Hunter 3 was my first Monster Hunter game, and Codicus was my first Elder Dragon. Nice. Who was your first enemy, and who was your first enemy you weren't ready for? I mean, my first enemy was life, and the first enemy I wasn't ready for was life. But I don't think that was the question that you were asking, Dragon King. Would you mind specifying? Okay, so I can't walk away from that area. You're such a goober, Mocha. In Monster Hunter, okay. So in Monster Hunter, the first enemy that I fought was the Velociprey, because I played Monster Hunter Freedom on the PSP, which was the handheld port of the first game, which was released on the PlayStation 2. I believe. Yeah, I believe it's PlayStation 2. And the first monster that I was not ready for would be the Kut-Ku. The Yan Kut-Ku, which is the first actual wyvern that you fight, first flying wyvern that you fight in the game, because technically the prey species are also bird wyverns. But yeah, the Kut-Ku I was not ready for when I first fought it. It killed me so many times. I thought the Velocidrone was difficult. And then I go against the Kut-Ku and it's just, you get floored. Maybe Metal Gear is the friends we made along the way. Oh my god. The power of friendship. Punishments all around. God damn it. But we brought back a buddy. You'll do that and then come straight back for dinner. What would you have done if a fully grown Rathalos had shown up? Cry. Oh, great. Now we're in trouble. Thanks, you guys. Who are you? Hi, baby. Get eaten, probably? Yeah. No, that's definitely what would happen, because... Well, these guys aren't hunters, they're riders. They don't have the weapons, generally, to fight against monsters alone. And they're kids. Now, if I had some of these weapons with me, which are actually technically hunters' weapons, but they're weapons that anybody can use to protect themselves. No, he's still a kid, so probably would get eaten. I thought we were. Wait, you're not coming with me, you bastard? You're gonna let me get, you know, shoot out alone? Now, if you notice that this particular character has elf ears, that's because they are a Wyverian. Now, I still haven't figured this out fully yet, whether or not there are two separate species of Wyverians. Some that are small, little goblin-like Wyverians, and some that are tall, human-like elf Wyverians. But I personally think it's more of the evolution of Asian people that occurs here, where we grow up, we look tall and normal, and as we get older, we get shorter and angrier and grumpier. And eventually we go into a cocoon and come out wrinklier, like fucking Yoda. I don't know, just a thought. Good girl. Hi! He scared the shit out of me. Let's see, to be fair, if I ran across a baby dragon, I'd take that risk. You and me both, Moose, but that's probably why I wouldn't survive that long in a lot of worlds. And let's be honest. Unless, of course, we were literally the main character, most of us, if we got isekai to a world of magic and monsters, we are all red shirt material. We would all be painting the pavement with blood, giving it a new decoration. All right, I'm not gonna keep scratching your ass. Go. No, go. If you could tame one monster from the Hunter universe, what one would it be? Has to be in budget. Alright, well, I'm not going to choose an Elder Dragon, specifically because that seems a little bit ridiculous. And if I remember correctly, in the Monster Hunter Stories games, you're not able to get an Elder Dragon to ride. I could be wrong on that. But if I could choose one monster, it would either be the Genogra, because the Genogra is one of my favorites, or the Nargacuga.
Hi.
Just imagine if his voice was like an old prospector. And yet, I can't help but nod. What else has happened is the rod. Ah. The kinship stone surely does its part, bonding. Yeah, no, that's immediately how I imagine what he is. What monster resembles a moose? That's my favorite. The Kelby. The Kelby would probably be the closest to resemble a moose. Oh, wait, no, wait. What am I saying? No. In Monster Hunter Rise, there was straight up, what is it? Give me 1 second. The Anteca. This motherfucker is the closest that you would get to a moose. Well, thank you, Nick. I'm glad you enjoy, my lore content and my streams. By budget, I mean one you could take care of without turning to crime to feed it. Well, I mean, a Zenogre and a Nargacuga can feed themselves. All I gotta do is let them out into the forest areas and be like, hey, go find some deer. There's plenty of deer. That's my favorite now? Alright. So I think that still works. But also, I mean, in all honesty, Dragon King, when it comes down to the idea of taking care of another animal within the Monster Hunter universe, that's just not going to work. Because even the idea of taking care of a horse, right? Because most of the monsters would be horse-sized, and the amount of calories that would need to sustain something that big, I would go fucking broke. Taking care of a horse is a lot of money. Feeding a horse takes a lot of money. Feeding my dog takes a decent amount of money. And there's not a lot of monsters within the Monster Hunter universe that are dog-sized. Even the dogs are horse-sized. It's late, go to bed. Hey. I will in like 20 minutes because I wanted to at least get an hour stream in for Christmas. I've deadass never played a game like this. Like, what is it? I know that's broad as fuck. So this is Monster Hunter Stories, and I will tell you, it is a turn-based style game. It is an RPG, but it's based within the Monster Hunter universe, or at least an alternate version of the Monster Hunter universe. And thank you so much for that follow. And unlike Monster Hunter, which is a rudimentary Souls-like game, yes, I'm saying it's a Souls-like game because people don't seem to realize what a Souls-like game actually is anymore. But Monster Hunter was the first popularized Souls-like game that allowed for games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring to run. That's right, baby. Monster Hunter walked so that those games could run. Oh, look. This is one of my favorite monsters that I just talked about, the Nargacuga. Although this is a rampaging... Well, actually, usually when you see it, it's pretty rampaging. But yeah, this is one of my favorite monsters. About to go to bed. I hit 80 on WoW. Nice. Wait. What character? Is it like Pokemon and Dark Souls had a kid, or am I slow? No. Well, okay. This game is more like a Pokemon-style RPG because you do collect monsters. Although I'm not sure if in Monster Hunter Stories you do. Monster Hunter Stories 2, you definitely do. But Monster Hunter as a franchise is more like a stereotypical Souls-like. Only it's more mission-based rather than open-world-based. Although nowadays, the newest iteration, Monster Hunter Wilds, is open-world. And I will say the main universe of Monster Hunter isn't this anime stylized. It's a much more realistic stylized game. Love me a creature battler? Yep, me too. So this game's like Monster Hunter Lite. So is this game like Monster Hunter's Lite for new and old fans? No! So this game doesn't have a lot of the Monster Hunter combat and gameplay, and the universe is different. This is an alternate universe comparative to main canon Monster Hunter games. Well, that was intense. So the gameplay in this the gameplay in this is more of a turn-based RPG style gameplay, whereas, like I stated, the mainline Monster Hunter games like Monster Hunter Wilds, which is the newest one that was released, is more likened to a Souls-like game without any creature battler aspects to it, other than the fact that you are the character holding a giant sword battling giant creatures. People died. Alright, so at the very least, a year has passed since the Nargacuga attacked Hakuma Village. Hakuma Village is slowly rebuilding back to its former glory. Today is the day of the Rite of Kinship. It is the final step to becoming a rider. But what will you have to do? So is this to Monster Hunter what Minish Cap is to Zelda? That is a great comparison, Moose. Although Minish Cap is more likened to a nod back to the original style of Zelda games. You know, top-down RPGs. Are you on Twitch too? Yes, Nick. I am on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, and on TikTok. I'm live on all three currently. Ara ara. Cheval. Oh, right. That's why Cheval was being angry. The Nargacuga killed his entire family. And he's an orphan. Fuck. He became a writer recently. Oh, okay. So he found a beast to connect with. Nice. I guess a better way to look at this would be this would be like Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy Tactics. So Monster Hunter Stories would be like Final Fantasy Tactics, and Monster Hunter Standard would be like standard Final Fantasy. No, that's not a good comparison. Fuck. Hey, Nick, thank you so much for the follow on the Twitch side as well. Hey, what's up, buddy? Oh, I think I get it now. When explaining this seems pretty intriguing. I mean, the game in itself is pretty awesome. So, I mean, well, at least Monster Hunter as a franchise is pretty awesome. I'm not sure about this game because this is the first time I'm playing it. Although I have played Monster Hunter Stories 2, and that game was awesome. I kind of wish I had... I'm regretting the fact that I let my ex steal that game. Actually, and then again, I'm regretting the fact that I let my ex steal anything at all. Because she stole a whole bunch of shit. Alright, let's do this. Wait, where's the chief? Ah, okay, cool. Right. It's more like at this point in this day at that where I'm at now. Good riddance to bad rubbish. All right, we're here. Although I'm kind of surprised that we didn't go after the baby Rathalos that fell. Your bonding with that Rathalos puts you amongst the Monsty pros. As a writer, you have the right stuff to grow and learn and be super tough. There's still a lot to do to make a writer out of you. Why is all of his lines rhyming? The greatest writers never rest in their fight to be the best. Like me, and I'll be there to help out whenever you need you. You must do. Has he always been talking in rhymes and I didn't notice that until now? Writers and ours alone. The bond forger, the kinship stone. By this stone your hearts are bound, and with your monster kinship found. He looks like Isabella's grandpa. Wait, Isabella from what? There's a few Isabellas. Maybe he's practicing for the village rap battle? What, is he gonna go up against Good Peter? Trying to support you, my guy. Well, I appreciate that. I do. And just thank you for being here, Nick. And for your support, for being awesome. Making my Christmas pretty awesome. It'll be your Monsty. I get to choose. Do I get to choose an egg? No, I'm just gonna get a Velociprey egg. I know that's a Velociprey egg. You know why? Because it looks like a Velociprey. Hope your Christmas was good, bro. I mean, I made decent money today at work. And I'm streaming now, hanging out with y'all, so it's been a pretty good Christmas. I appreciate y'all. I hope your Christmas was awesome. I hope all of y'all's Christmas was awesome. Wait, no, don't roll away. You look good with short hair. Well, I appreciate that. Did you spend your time with family? Well, seeing as none of my family live close by, no, I didn't get a chance to spend any time with them. Let's see, she canonically married to the Doomslayer, and her grandpa is village elder in this universe. Okay, that's the Isabella you're talking about. Now I know. Merry Christmas to you as well. Well, thank you. What do you do for work? I am a mall cop. I'm Paul Blart, only I don't get a cool Segway. I have a Chevy that I drive around for the company vehicle. I wonder how many omelets you could make with an egg that big. Well, keep in mind, the larger the egg, the more, I want to say, gamey the flavor will be. The more pronounced the flavor will be. If you've ever had an ostrich egg, yeah, it's a very unique flavor compared to chicken egg. You just got knocked the fuck out. I think it's been a year or two since I've joined up this live. Well, welcome back. Okay, so here's another thing that I do want to mention. Felines. In both universes, both this universe, the Monster Hunter Stories universe, and the mainline Monster Hunter universe, felines actually don't speak Common Speak or Wyverian. Common Speak being human speak. They speak their own language, which both humans and Wyverians actually can understand. And it's a language based in meows and purrs. This individual is actually one of the few only felines that can speak Common Speak and Wyverian. Let's see, I was there when you were talking about doing some type of podcast for the first time. Oh yeah, Fajali Advice, which is still up on YouTube. I have since retired that particular podcast. I might bring it back if anybody ever needs any advice, but yeah. Something tells me the main universe would look down on this universe. Not necessarily. The main universe will keep, because in the main universe and in the Stories universe, hunters and the guilds still exist. Hunters and riders, though, don't hate each other, but at the same time, they don't necessarily get along, and that's mainly due to the fact that hunters hunt monsters, whereas riders seek to create a connection with them. But they don't necessarily hate each other, nor are they at war. Name pending. You play D&D. I used to play D&D. I play a tabletop game with friends on the weekly, but I haven't played D&D for some time, mainly because, well, my last D&D group was part of the friend group with my ex that screwed me over, left me homeless, and stole all my stuff. You were gonna steal the egg and eat it.
ですってマジか
I mean, just from how cartoony it looks compared to theirs. Classic D&D group shenanigans. Only it wasn't in D&D. That happened in real life. So when it comes down to that, it's I guess it comes down it's a matter of perception, I guess, or dimensional perception. Would they be able to perceive that it looks cartoony if they were to be looking into this universe? Sting theory would suggest possibly not. Or possibly so. I've been in a group like that. And now we've made a new friend. Okay. Will you? Will you really stand around for a helping paw? Naviru. Alright, now we can make just some palm trees. A sacred stone. And we have made our connection with our first monster. Wait, egg fragments. Select egg fragments to assemble eggs and hatch new monsters, and you can find egg fragments scattered throughout the world or win them in network battles. Interesting. What's up? New favorite streamer? Well, I appreciate that. Welcome to the community. He's just rhyming. Okay, so I just didn't notice that he just rhymes with every sentence. You did well to form a kinship bond with a monster of whom you are so fond. Now you've a monstie stood by your side. Care for it well, as is a rider's pride. The riders formed kinships with monsters, a tradition older than time. And an old man who speaks only in rhyme. Now I'm doing... Oh shit. Challenge accepted. Come to the village gate when you've made preparations. Alright, y'all. I made myself a promise, even though I don't want to. But I do have to end stream here, as I've been live for an hour, and I do actually need to get some sleep. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. We're going to be rating here on the Twitch side to my buddy Bendy Jenga. And I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this Christmas stream. I hope everybody had an amazing holiday and, you know, enjoyed the stream. And I will see everybody again tomorrow, where I'll be live at my normal time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we'll be continuing on with Monster Hunter Stories. Much love, appreciate y'all, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.